entrepreneurs are people that from time to time you have to take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
You must. You must risk. By the time it was the 10th of January, we had already reached the radar of the owner.
Yo.
By the time it was the 10th of January, we had worked so hard that we had actually reached the radar of the owner.
How did you handle that pressure, bro? Because now in the company there's like politics, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like this guy is 2 years old. He's a toddler.
From today moving onwards, you are a manager. Okay.
Manager in 10 days, bro.
I was a manager in 10 days. And within 24 hours, I had set up a company. Within 24 hours, I had set up a company. Within 48 hours, which is 2 days, right? I'm not mistaken, 48. Within 2 days, I started operating a business.
Alone, you can go far. Together, we can go further. Friends, let us make an impact together. And won't you do me a big favor? Just hit that subscribe button, because here at All Things Leadership Podcast, we are about to make the impact in the world, because we interview the best of the leaders. Welcome to All Things Leadership Podcast. My name is Nhlaka H. Today's guest is a very dear friend of mine that is killing it in what he does. He's a great leader, so I'm looking forward to having a conversation with him. Please help me welcome Mr. B. Monahan. Bro, I love your shirt.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and what's up? You have been
Hey, and Labiza.
yeah. You actually told minister now, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just excel in these shirts.
No, that's good, bro. Welcome to All Things Leadership Podcast.
Thank you so much for the welcome. Thank you so much for the invite. I highly appreciate it.
Fantastic. I believe that you from Free State, eh?
Yes. Home is actually in a place called Virginia. It's near to Welkom, right? And yeah, that's my home from the Free State.
And what brings you to KwaZulu-Natal?
Hey, studying Baba school. I came here for school. Yeah, I came here for school. I came to study at DUT. Yeah, so I did civil engineering there, and then yeah, I'm here now. Maybe 17 years down the line or 16 years down the line. I'm still around, so something kept me beyond my studies.
I remember we met during our acting eras.
Yes, it's a shy drama.
Yeah.
Hopefully there won't be any drama in this episode.
No, man. It's really chilled. And bro, you've come up to be like a very prominent leader in the community and in the business world. And just want to know what has shaped your leadership. Do you remember that moment, maybe in your young age, that you actually can recall? That moment actually I recognize would see this leadership on my life.
Well, I don't remember a particular moment in time, but what I can say is that I believe that leadership is something that which you get taught leadership. So I grew up under an umbrella of leaders. My father is a leader, he's a community leader, he's a spiritual leader. My mom is also a leader. So I kind of like learned leadership from my parents. So since you learn something from your parents, you kind of like grow up with it. I mean, from primary school, I learned to all prefect. I'm a prefect.
Yeah.
So I was prefect, I was RCL, I was librarian, I was all things leadership basically.
Yeah.
So I can say I just kind of like grew up in a leadership environment, and I adopted the values of leadership.
And what is one value that you think you'll never forget that maybe your parents have taught you?
Respect and honor.
Sure.
Respect and honor. If you respect and you honor,
Wow, wow.
Respect and honor goes a long way.
And then, bro, you studied civil, right?
Yeah.
And how do you end up being in the car dealership business?
Yeah.
Tell us a little
Okay.
bit about your
So, so I studied civil, right? And then immediately after civil, I then ventured into business because I just had this thing in my spirit or in my mind that eh, I'm called for greatness,
journey.
and therefore I cannot contain myself to a day job. There's nothing wrong with a day job, but I just always had this entrepreneurship spirit within myself. So that led me to selling, that led me to selling, and I started selling products like your face washes, your detoxes, I started selling.
Like or Avon.
Yeah, things like Avon Ganj.
Sure.
Yeah. But now, when we actually started, so you want the background. So when we actually started with my wife, right, we were selling a certain product. And this product, like your Avon, like your Herbalife, like your Forever Living, right? So we were selling Forever Living products. And then I sold the products for like 3 months, 5 months. And then something in me said, but you're selling someone else's product. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Now I need to be able to actually make my own product. So whenever I do something in me kicks in and says, but you need to do your own thing.
Sure.
So that's just how I'm wired. Then as time went by grace, I happened to loggerheads with a pharmaceutical scientist, and he's based in Nhlaka. And I said to him, look, I want to build products. He says, this is the right man.
Wait. How do you meet with the pharmaceutical scientist? What was your first conversation, or did you just get straight to the point and say, I want to start my own product? You went to a stranger.
No, okay. So there's a story
happening?
behind that. It
Yes,
was also a selling story.
Yeah.
So I was selling SIM cards.
No,
not those ones.
Yeah. Okay.
But I was actually selling SIM cards. They were called GCC SIM cards, right? So I was selling GCC SIM cards.
Sounds like a church name.
No, it's actually a cryptocurrency coin.
Yeah.
It's called a GCC coin.
100%.
So that
Wow.
company had what is called SIM cards, right? So now I was actually selling and marketing these products. So one day I just get a call from this man. He says, how are you doing? I'm well, in yourself. He says, no, you're speaking to Dr. So-and-so. Dr. Mjani. I don't think it's an issue if I mention it. But you're speaking to Dr. Mjani. I'm like, okay, Baba Gunja, good. Look, I want to buy your SIM card. I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. These are the advantages of the SIM card, blah, 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 blah. Then he says, let's meet, right? And then, boom, go to Musgrave, right? I meet with him, and, I tell him about the SIM card, and in turn, he tells me about what he does for a living.
Sure.
Only to find out that, hey, this man is big. This man is a pharmaceutical scientist. This man's got products, clicks everywhere. His own product that he's made.
And something clicked.
Then I was like, okay. Now then I asked him if he could actually build products for me, because remember I had been selling products of a certain company. He said no problem. I remember what he said to me as if it was yesterday. He said to me, he said, come with me, boy. I will teach you how to be a millionaire. And when I heard millionaire, I was like, yeah.
You were a proper Sandanier at that time.
Hey, when very serious,
Yeah.
a very serious one.
Yeah.
So he said, come, boy, I'll show you how to make money. Then he told him what kind of products I want, obviously being advised by him, which products are good and so forth and so forth. Then he built the products for us from scratch.
Wow.
And then I went uptown here in Pietermaritzburg, master printers, printed the labeling and everything. Boom, bought stock, put together some money with my wife. We bought stock, started labeling, and we started selling products.
How did you find your clients?
We found okay, what we did was that because now, as much as one of the attributes of an entrepreneur is the ability to empower others, right? The true mark of an entrepreneur is not just somebody that wants to have their own thing, but it's somebody that also has got a heart to actually impact others.
100.
So what we did was that we put an ad out that we're looking for resellers, people that will actually sell, these products. So we gathered them around. We would give them our products per week. We give you products to the value of 500 rands, right? And then next week you would come with the money and the profit, and then we would give you Amanyama products. So we had around 12 ladies that were working for us. They were working from home.
Was it a strategic, viable tactic?
Okay, the 12 part,
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but maybe, probably.
Yeah.
But we had around 12 ladies. We had 12 ladies that were working for us. So then, they were, others were at Imbali, others were there, others were even in town. They were actually, selling or marketing the product for us. Then they would come, touch base at the office, bring the money, then go back and sell. And then.
So did you rent out the office?
Yeah, we were renting out an office in CBD here in Pietermaritzburg.
Did you start what ukudayisela ekhaya noma office was from your step one as well?
No, the office was from step one because sometimes you just need to take that big leap of faith that I'm going big or I'm going home.
Sure.
Not everything will start like that, but we were at a point, remember now, we were making some money from product selling, and my wife was full-time employed.
Yeah.
So we could afford to actually, have the offers and so forth and so forth.
Yes. Let's get back to the pharmaceutical story.
Yeah. So the pharmaceutical story, we start selling, we start doing that and that until one day, while we are actually selling, my wife at that point in time, she was based in the Free State. She was working in Free State. She had to relocate because she got a better job in the Free State, right? So as my wife was there, she happened to just say, you know what, you need to go and do a delivery at a certain address, right? And I took the products, I went to that address, and when I got there, this is a dealership. Okay, fine. And then obviously gave our client the products, and then my wife would send me there now and again. And then during the December holidays, obviously my wife was now coming to PMB. And then this particular God-sent individual says to my wife, look, you're so good at selling. Why don't you come and sell cars? You make a good buck out of selling cars. And my wife was like, okay, it's fine. I'll try it out.
100%.
Then they organized an interview. Right? They organized an interview. And then I remember the 15th of December, we were at a wedding, my friend's wedding. And then on the 16th of December, we were at my wife's cousin's wedding. Then we had scheduled the meeting for the 17th of December. Right? The interview, yes. Then drive my wife to the interview, and she goes into the office, meets this gentleman that I know from actually delivering products to. We had my products are
Oh, yeah, my products are 6-pack. Yeah.
So we get there, and then obviously I leave my wife in the office, or I'm about to leave, and then the gentleman says, no, there's no need for you to actually leave, you can actually stay in. I'm like, okay, what kind of an interview is this? But nevertheless, I just I stayed. And then he now started to narrate how one can actually make money through selling cars, right? And gave my wife some options as to as to how she can tackle this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then at the end of that interview, I was like, can I also do this thing? He was like, yes, sure. I was like, oh, okay, this is beautiful. It was like, come, there's no anybody can do it. 100%. I was like, oh, okay, all right. I love that anybody. So we then walked out of that office. We told ourselves that we are going to now start selling cars. Walked out of that. It was the 17th of December. Mm-hmm. By the 20th of December, which was like 3 days later, we had sold our first car. Through just going to Facebook and saying, you want a car? I'm the person to speak to. Mm-hmm. 3 days.
Do you want a car? I'm the person to speak to.
Just like that. It was that easy. Yeah. Right? So then 3 days down the line, we sold our first car.
Amazing.
Right? That was amazing. And then on the 24th, so that's 17 plus 3 is 20, 24, that's around 7, right? So 7 days later, mm-hmm. on the 24th, we had sold our second car. And we had made so much money. We were like, wifey, do you still want to live apart? Still want to go to Free State? She was like, no.
Yeah.
She resigned same time. So another thing about entrepreneurs are people that from time to time you have to take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
You must. You must risk. Unfortunately, that's just the life of an entrepreneur. At some point in time, you need to make a decision that is not logical. It's not logic for you to go to an interview on the 17th and on the 24th, after just that breakthrough, and then you say, wife, resign.
Hey.
And the wife also chooses to resign. She comes and you say, no, I'm going to be doing this thing full time. Yeah. And you must remember, Nhlaka, at that point in time, we are running a business, products.
Yeah.
You see? So we've got another business. Now here's another opportunity. Now, as this cut is hammer, now we had to weigh. We would say, yes, we've got our own products. Mm-hmm. Yes, our business is doing well. Mm-hmm. Yes, we've employed around 12 people. Mm-hmm. But now, so most of the time, especially, speaking to ama entrepreneurs, you will find that you are in this project, we are going to project, we are going to project. Sometimes that's the life of an entrepreneur until you really find that thing that will just move.
Sure.
So you don't have to be stuck. There's something that you said. Last week that I really loved. You said that one thing that which is constant is change.
Sure.
Yeah. So the life of an entrepreneur, it is you must just live out of the box. You must you must be forever looking for a better opportunity. Yeah. So we happened to actually see this as a better opportunity that can one day probably finance this one again.
100%.
So that's how we actually looked at it.
Wow.
And then we closed the office. We didn't close the office immediately, but we had one of my friends who continued running the office and selling the products. But sometimes when you are an entrepreneur or when you are a leader, sometimes when somebody else goes to handle, it just doesn't go well. Especially when something is in inception stage. It just doesn't go well because it needs you to be there like every day. So after a couple of months, the business, closed. But then we were doing well on the motor industry. We were doing well on the motor industry. So in a nutshell, that's how we actually came into the motor industry. That was in December, right? And the following year, January, crazy things were happening. So I don't know if I should continue.
I'm listening.
You're listening.
Yes. Yeah.
So 24.
Do you want him to continue?
Do you want me to continue? So that was around the 24th. So we went home. We went back home smiling, excited.
Happy family, bro.
Happy family.
Yo.
By just posting, before I move on to December, to January, right? When now the dealership reopened in January. There's just something that is coming to my mind now. What is coming to my mind? Now I just lost the thought. But nevertheless, let's go to January. We'll come back.
Boy.
Yeah. So now come January. Now we are back. Now we actually have to start working, doing this thing full time now, right? So as we are about to do this thing full time, the first week we did so good that the man in charge at the dealership recognized us.
What?
Remember when we got there, we were working under the God sent angel that actually, or a divine connection that actually said, come, this is how you can make money.
Yeah.
And then we actually fell under that person's leadership,
Yes,
and
yes,
the person was our
Manager.
our manager.
Yes, sir.
Right? And then now come January, by the time it was the 10th of January, we had already reached the radar of the owner.
Yo.
By the time it was the 10th of January, we had worked so hard that we had actually reached the radar of the owner. And the owner called me, said, look, are you trustworthy? I was like, yes, I'm trustworthy. I was like, okay, it's fine. Can you gather people and teach people to do what you've done?
Sure.
I was like, I can surely do that. He said, okay, from today moving onwards, you are a manager. Okay.
Manager in 10 days, bro.
I was a manager in 10 days.
Yo.
Just like that. I was manager in 10 days. I had to now start managing people. And I had to teach people, show people, how is it that from the 24th of December to the 10th of January, I've gotten so many sales,
100%.
right? So then that's how I became a manager. Remember, this was a dealership that's been running for years. There are people there that were working for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and they were never managers, So
How did you handle that pressure, bro? Because now, in the company, there's like politics, I guess.
yeah,
'Cause
definitely.
it's like
Definitely.
this guy is 2 years old. He's a toddler.
He's a toddler. He doesn't know anything about the industry itself. Remember the industry, right? For me, I'm just one of those people that I get to the office, right? Close my door, start working.
Sure.
I'm so not bothered by what people say. I am my own environment. I don't allow the environment
Fire.
to determine what I think, how I act, how I behave. I once said this I think I was speaking with my wife. I said, you know what? Out of all these things that people struggle with, even peer pressure, that's one thing that I've never struggled with in my entire life.
Wow.
Because I'm my own environment.
Yo.
I don't allow what is outside to determine where I'm going. Come on. So, oh yes, I remember that thought, right? Before we go into the managering and the ching and all that, the thought that I wanted to actually raise, especially to everybody in actual fact, is the fact that kunalento le okuthiwa marketing or advertising, right? So if you advertise a product, you're going to pay for airtime, radio, let's say Kozi FM,
Yes, sir.
for them to speak about your product,
Yeah.
right? Number two, you will buy an ad on TV. You will put up billboards on the roads, and yet you are actually doing what? You are marketing your
Product.
product.
Yes, sir.
Right. So let's say your product is this beautiful all things leadership mug, right? So now somebody will be speaking on radio. Gune mug, ekanje, it's nice, it's white, size yakona, blah 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 blah. Right? Then on TV, boom, all things leadership mug, whatever, billboards everywhere.
Yes, sir.
So it's money in order to do that. Advertising costs money. And advertising costs a lot of money. Right. So then a lot of companies, a lot of industries realize that advertising costs a lot of money. But the most effective way, right? The most effective way, above TV, above radio, above everything else, it's word of mouth.
Sure.
Abo?
Word of mouth is powerful.
If you want to buy, hey, you must excuse me, good people. I'm married, so
Yeah.
a lot of examples are in my wife.
Yeah.
If you want to buy your wife, Nhlaka, right? If you want to buy her, let's say, a watch, you're gonna ask me,
What should I watch out for?
where did you buy the watch? Where did you buy your wife's watch?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
What am I gonna say? I'm gonna say, no, I bought my wife's watch at store A, blah blah blah, Liberty Mall.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna go to Liberty Mall.
Because of word of mouth.
Because of word of mouth. Because you know me, you trust me,
Yes,
you've
sir.
seen the watch. You go there, you buy the watch, you leave. Right?
Yes, sir.
Who advertised?
It's the word of mouth.
It's me. But am I getting anything from the watch? No.
No.
That stained what? I don't know their names, right? The people that what jewelry shop.
Uh-huh.
They don't give me anything.
Yes, sir.
But without me, you wouldn't have bought that watch.
100%.
So now a lot of industries they then realize that instead of us spending a lot of money advertising and being on radio and paying, let's rather invest the money in people.
100%.
You see? So a lot of people ask themselves, okay, you are getting a referral fee. Where is the money coming from? Remember now, where was the money coming from to advertise? We're taking that money from advertising. We are now investing in people.
Yo.
Because people trust people.
Yes.
Wabo?
Yo.
people trust people. So that's how actually I was just trying to, that thought came just to explain as to when I said, good people, I'm selling a car. Where did I get the money from? I get the money from the company profits that which are supposed to go towards advertising.
Sure.
Those profits are now shared with me because now without me there is no business.
Yo.
Wabo? So that's how that's how it works, especially in the motor industry or any other industry that has got a rewards program or a referral bonus.
100%.
It's just saying, look, without you, I wouldn't have made 100 rands. So since I'm making 100 rands, I'm gonna give you 10 rands to say thank you. Without you, I ain't got no business. You see? So
Wow.
so basically that's what I taught people. I taught people that, look, word of mouth, go out there and talk about the product. When you talk about the product, what will happen? The people will come and buy the product. When the people buy the product, I've got a profit. On that profit, I keep mine, I also give you something. Because without you, there's no business.
Wow.
You see? So that's where the money comes from. It's not like the money is coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
No. That's where the money actually comes from.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then I became a manager. Then I was having a team of around 35 people, and they started actually working under me, and I would then in turn actually pay them for actually bringing clients. Yes, and but you must remember now I've got a day job, Nhlaka, something that is very foreign to who I am.
Yes, sir.
I've got a day job. I'm sitting in front of a laptop. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm receiving calls, I'm getting WhatsApps, I'm doing this. When the client comes, I facilitate everything, client chooses the car. I'm actually now working. But now that's not me. Wabo?
Yeah.
Then because it's not me, my instinct will say, study the environment.
100%.
Then I start studying the systems. I start studying the environment. I start studying the clientele. I start studying everything pertaining to the motor industry.
So you observe and you write.
I observe, I note, and I make relationships.
100%.
I make contacts. Right? If you send me, you say, hey, go to Toyota and speak to so and so.
Yes, sir.
I make sure that I get so and so's contact, because I don't know, one day I might need so and so.
Yeah.
Because I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I don't get comfortable in an environment where where I've got a bus. Buses are good people, right? But we are not all designed to have buses. So environment ka bus yangihlula mina on a personal note, right? So I learned the trade. And then after I had learned the trade, as soon as I've learned the trade, something in me will say, now you are fed up. You shouldn't do that. Something in me will say, you are fed up now.
Yeah.
And I'll start seeing small mistakes. I'll start seeing the way that you talk to me. Now you're talking to me like I'm your small boy now. Hey, I'm married, I've got kids, I'm old,
Was in chair, right?
Yeah, I've got njebe. I'm a leader, I'm a community leader.
Yeah.
I'm a leader in different spheres. So ngisikala manje nginaka indlela okhuluma nami ngayo, nginaka into eyiningi. Hayi ngoba sengi-fed up. I'm already fed up. The entrepreneur in me has sunk all the information that is needed. Yabo? So when that happened, I left. That was 2 years. It took me 2 years. I left.
Yep.
And when I left, the day I left, the first thing I did, I went to my phone. I started making calls.
Come on.
Started making calls. And within 24 hours, I had set up a company.
Come on.
Within 24 hours, I had set up a company. Within 48 hours, which is 2 days, right? If I'm not mistaken, 48. Within 2 days, I started operating a business. Selling cars.
You know what I like?
Now I'm the boss.
Hey, wait, boss. What I like is this. It wasn't just a company set up.
Yes.
There was actual work that was starting to happen. It wasn't just register a business. There are so many businesses registered with CIPC, but not operational.
Yes.
And I like that you were just hard on executing, man.